Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 Probots cast. We have got ourselves a rematch, and it's actually a match from the tournament run by SC2AI.net. I believe it's SC2AI.net, also known as the Probots tournament, and also a bot author recommended replay. And so the first game between BenBot and Caninana was a great one. BenBot ended up losing out, but it showed some incredible play. Same with Caninana. The depth of these bots is huge, and so I thought I'd cast a rematch, as all the games recommended by the bot authors have been great so far, and so was this one. So before we get too far into this match, TVZ on Stargazers, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's go for 12 likes on this video, since there's that many drones mining according to the hatchery, although that number's changing all the time. But yeah, 12 likes on this video would be great. Comment down below more bots, subscribe and hit the bell icon if you have not. And if you do want to help chip in for the coffee that fuels these casts, consider becoming a YouTube member with the join button or the link down below. And so, let's see, same proxy racks build from BenBot. Not sure what the best counter to this would be for a Zerg bot to do, but it's a very strong build regardless. And yeah, we'll see how Caninana is going to do against it in this one. I mean, in the last game, I believe it did lose the hatchery, and then it just went roaches behind it and rebuilt back up, which is something that bots can do. Now, let's see, Queen on the way. So doesn't seem like a well, I mean, it's seen the bunker, but it hasn't reacted yet. Now Caninana, after making some Zerglings, is now going to be making some roaches to potentially try and save this location. It's seeing the Marines, and there is the SCV to repair the bunker, which was the linchpin in the last game with this strategy, because I mean, bots don't always have programming to target down an SCV that's building a bunker like a human player might, realizing how key it is. But then again, the bot with the bunker bot, the bot with the bunker can actually just load the SCV into the bunker to potentially save it if it ever does get targeted. Not that I know if BenBot has that behavior or not, but very similar to the previous game. This time we'll see, though, if it's going to play out any differently. If Caninana does save the hatchery, it's like one of these queens will go down, another one being worked on. Ling trying to cross the map, and it does make it past the Marine there. More Marines are on the way, however, the hatchery is being worked upon. Roach burrows on the way. Now, this game could be an identical... This game is pretty much identical to the previous matchup, which is something that is a bit of a treat, because not all bot games play out the same every time. Particularly if they have a variation in the strategy, but this game it looks like a variation or similar strategy, similar response, and that worked out for Caninana in the last game. So we'll see if there's going to be any changes for BenBot, or if in this situation Caninana comes out ahead every time. That's why I'm excited to cast this rematch. That hatchery will go down this time again. The queen gets targeted down, the SCV going to repair the bunker, so no change there. The bunker long standing, kills the hatchery, and now BenBot can just macro up behind this, and it's got a command center on the way up at home. We'll see how long the bunker holds on this time. That is going to be the big question. As the roaches burrow, they take shots from the Marines. Another Marine coming on in, but as we see, these roaches will not die due to the burrow mechanic, much like this bunker won't die due to the repair mechanic. But while this is going on, though, eventually there will be enough roaches that build up here that the bunker will no longer be able to be repaired. Imagine if BenBot sent 2 SCVs, it would take twice as many roaches to kill it. But anyway, a Marauder on the way now, combat shield on the way, and a factory for BenBot. So all the transitions going down. Also building a wall at the natural, which I do like to see. And then the bunker's still holding fast. There's Marines coming forward. But yeah, these roaches aren't going to die at all. They just burrow and unburrow right away. The question is, how long is it going to take for Caninana to finally break this location? I mean, BenBot is funneling in Marines, so it's not exactly just defending this for free. It is buying time at the cost of Marine lives. And so we see these roaches still working away in this bunker, the bunker injuring them, but it seems as soon as one roach is unburrowed, another one is targeted. A tag scanner sweep goes down, does actually force these roaches back. Interestingly enough, it is a retreat from Caninana, but that scan is going to buy this bunker a lot of time, going to buy it time to be fully repaired up. But now that these roaches have healed up, I get the feeling that this location will be cracked. We'll see, though. I mean, the roaches are forced to burrow once more. Ling's going down. They don't burrow as quick. Marauder gets targeted, and the bunker does eventually get taken down there. And so benbot loses its anchor point, will have to start retreating behind this, and it is going to retreat with the Marauders. No concussive shell on these boys just yet. We'll see if that's going to be something that gets researched or not. There's a bunker at the natural, however, going up for benbot, which I like to see. These Marauders, though, biting off more than they can chew. These burrowed roaches are not going anywhere, and great efficiency from Caninana, much like the previous match. As a matter of fact, have any roaches gone down this game? Nope, no roaches have gone down, and yet they've killed the bunker, they've killed lots of Marines and Marauders, and so we will eventually need to see benbot. We'll eventually need to see benbot get something else out to deal with this, or if it is just going to be a repeat of the last match, we'll see Caninana build up, macro up, as the roaches don't have too much of a counter. Now, for benbot, there is the third base in a very secured position. Same goes for the Zerg. And benbot notably did mine out those minerals, actually, so it does have behavior programmed for this map to take that base. We'll see if Caninana has got that behavior or not. It could potentially be hung up if it ever tries to take that expansion. So that could actually be the deciding factor, the map. If Caninana does not take this base, or it glitches out trying to take this base. It's funny, the little factors that can affect things. Yeah, it's those minerals when it comes to a human player, it's like, ah, no big deal. But when a bot author, it's like, what? You need me to program just to get rid of a couple of mineral patches? Oh, how am I going to do that? It's actually probably such a big pain for them. But anyway, we do see benbot mining on 3 bases now. Much superior economy, producing lots of units, getting the armor, and then probably the attack at some point behind it. I'm curious when it will queue up the attack, how soon it does that. For now, though, just producing lots of units. It did get up that concussive shell. Hellion's on the way. Medivac on the way. Going for that bio. Got out a couple Widow Mines, so the game's going to progress here. And, yeah, we'll see which bot's going to come out ahead. I mean, if benbot moved across the map, it would probably just win the game here, but that's not how these bot games work. Program lethality is one of the hardest things to do. And so if StarCraft 2 bots are any indication, we don't actually have to worry too much about, about the AI uprising. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have music for the first 8 minutes there. I apologize for that. For some reason, it's disabled by default. It's one of those things, you know, you want to play some StarCraft and listen to other music. It gets a bit much, so I turn it off. Blue Flames on the way. benbot's moving out for an attack. There's a lot of Marines here, but there's a lot of roaches. We'll see if there's going to be a nice scan like the previous engagement, but previously, the scanning behavior has not been the best, and we do just see these roaches retreating. benbot may potentially kill this base, though, before it gets fully driven back. But yeah, look at these roaches retreating, getting healed up. They'll go back to the front once again. So as far as kills go, 1 roach has died this game. There's a second one going down. So, I mean, benbot's got that going for it, which is nice. But yeah, the burrowed behavior from Caninana really is the Achilles heel of benbot. Like, if benbot, I mean, it even made a Raven. Where's that Raven? It's just on top of this creep tumor. Probably just parks on top of the closest creep tumor, I imagine, which is that one. Might be better if it just sticks with the army. It's moving out now to kill off that creep tumor, which is good to see, but it's a little bit too late after these bird roaches have got a lot of efficiency. So interesting Raven behavior there. How it does just park on the closest creep tumor, it would seem. But then it did go down a little bit, so it is interesting, that mechanic. Now, let's see, these Marauders and Marines still being pushed back by the roaches. The resources lost very in favor of Caninana, and our anti-armor missile goes down. The Raven does keep those roaches detected. Everything covered in Dorito dust. Fusion core on the way for BenBot, so we will see those battle cruisers, but they weren't too effective in the previous game. We'll see how they're going to be in this one. No expansion here for Caninana. It's not trying to expand to it, so the bot author may just have taken the approach to say don't try and take that base, I wonder. Anyway, we see a battle cruiser on the way now, so that will require a lair, which exists already, but it will require a spire too. For Caninana, BenBot taking its 4th base. It's on 87 workers, so it can really trickle out units. But unfortunately, as far as trickling out units goes, they are just dying with very, very little effect. There's the Raven there, but it wants that creep tumor. The Raven coming forward, almost gets a roach killed, but not quite. BenBot's still streaming forward. It does technically have the upgrade lead right now as it's getting +2 armor. Just finished up its +2 or its +1 attack. Raven anti-armor missile goes down, but there's not enough to scare away these roaches, so BenBot's gonna have to fully retreat. Widowmine burrowed, tag Hydralisk upon seeing that Viking. Corruptors now on the way in response to that Viking. Another Raven's on the way for BenBot. There was one battle cruiser made, I believe, and there it is in the main base, attacking an extractor. Gonna go ahead and kill that. Now working away on that Evo chamber, interestingly enough, but may actually be able to kill it. Burrow drone takes a bit of the shots for a second. Queen's transfusing away on that Evo chamber. Great to see that behavior. Yamato cannon not yet done. This BC gonna have to skedaddle on out of there, and it looks like it does. No teleport off cooldown for it just yet, but it does have Yamato cannon now, so it can potentially use that. But there we go. Infestors are on the way out now for Caninana. It just popped out that tag. Did we see Neural Parasite get researched? Not yet, but that was a big winner for Caninana in the previous match, and so BenBot doing good, but whether this position will stay good is a different question. Whether Caninana will be held back by the reduced amount of bases on this map compared to the previous one. I mean, it's pretty much got all of its bases already. 5 bases available to it if it doesn't mine out this mineral patch. It did get rid of one of the patches at some point, but it didn't get rid of any more. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. There's this gold base too, which technically is a 7th base if you can secure it. Securing it though, definitely a different feat. Scan goes down. Where was that scan? I'm always curious how bot authors program scans, but I did not see it. Anyway, we see Liberators, battle cruisers on the way. This planetary getting secured up for BenBot. We'll see if BenBot eventually tries to take this base or whether Caninana will. There's also this location too available. Resources lost are in favor of Caninana so far. Battle cruisers in the main base working on Queens. They did use their Yamato cannons, so they were able to get some kills, I believe, on Queens there. And they do get out, as there is no Infestors with Neural Parasite out just yet, so that's some good efficiency for BenBot. Battle cruiser with a Raven moving around, killing off creep. Marauders joining the fray too. Lots of Lings coming in. Oh my gosh, the mass stim on those Marauders by BenBot. Those were full HP Marauders. Then they stimmed like 10 times there. That's not good. Yamato cannon goes down on a Queen. Neural Parasite is still there. Caninana's pumping out more Queens, getting out Infestors and Corruptors now too. These BCs will potentially be vulnerable once those Infestors are out. These BCs do need a repair. They're just hanging out for now. Viking working away on that Overseer. One of the PCs are just staying here as a safe point, and then they're going to teleport home as soon as that's done. We'll have to keep an eye on that. I am curious. Yeah, it does just teleport home right after that, which I wonder if that's just program behavior from BenBot, like make sure the BC is nowhere near the ground before that fight happens. We trying to talk about that programming there, but a big attack goes down from those roaches. Does not break the planetary. The turret there allows for detection on some of those roaches. These Marines have got lots of medivac support. They got good upgrades too, so they're doing okay for themselves, killing off those roaches before they can burrow 100% of the time. Battlecruiser engaging into the main base while this is going on. Broodlord tag is used. How many BCs is there on the map? There's 3 currently. None have died actually yet. The Marines still pushing away these roaches. That was a big attack from Caninana. Resources lost is still slightly in favor of Caninana, but it's not amazing. Roaches coming around on these Marines. Looks like there is enough of them, though, to win this fight and shave off these Marines. Battle cruisers all over the place now. There is an infestor on the ground. Can neural parasite this BC. It does use its teleport to get out of there before that. The BCs are now all over the place. The Liberator defending this base, interestingly enough, even though it's in zero danger. I wonder if that Liberator will lift off once this base is mined out or not, or if it'll stay there indefinitely. I always look for little things like that for the bot authors as far as how deep they go with the programming. Neural Parasite popped on this battle cruiser. That means the Corruptors can target it down. It will come off cooldown, so it may actually survive here. Another Neural Parasite goes down, though, securing that kill. That BC will fall to the Corruptors. A scan goes down to reveal that Infestor. That was right as soon as the BC died. Marines still skirmishing with these roaches. The Terran AI has lost more units. Then Caninana. Trying to cast these is just absolutely nuts. It's just roaches, groups of them all over the place. Highly effective roaches, I will say, for Caninana. I do like how it splits them up. Widowmines do get some big shots off, kill off at least a couple of roaches there. How many roaches have died this game? 18, which is a very small number. These roaches trying to break this natural location. There is tanks, mines, bunkers, and turrets galore. The planetary holding strong as well with the turret there to reveal them. The BC's moving forward. There is Corruptors in the sky. No Infestors on the ground to reveal them. These Infestors are actually in the top right. I wonder if there's a BC there prior to that. Command Center floating on over. I'm not sure where that's going. Yeah, heading towards the bottom right. BenBot does maybe need a bit of a behavior adjustment in regards to seeing that there's creep under the planetary about, I don't know what measurement of distance that is, but there's creep leading in towards this base, so it probably can't take this base, but by gosh, it's gonna try. SCV's moving there as well, gonna try and take that base, so you really gotta give it to BenBot. It's got heart, that's for sure. No building armor as well, so it does not seem to ever get that. Battle cruisers are being neural parasited and killed. Looks like 2 of them will go down. Friendly Yamato cannon goes down. That BC does teleport out. A scan goes down. I'm curious to see what is the scan trigger for BenBot. Regardless, it may need a little bit of work here. Marines on the ground can zone out the Corruptors. Caninana still not taking this base, so it is being denied those resources. Tanks killing off some roaches, getting some efficiency there, as these tanks are going up in kills a little bit. Holding that defensive position seems to work out pretty well for BenBot. This game really is a rematch. We see BenBot flying CC killed, reset, fail. I wonder what the change in behavior is there. It does start up another command center right away. This planetary and anchor point as well. Vikings working away on the Corruptors. How many of those Corruptors have died? 14 to 3 battle cruisers. Not a bad trade at all. Resources lost slightly in favor for Caninana. Still, BenBot trading out pretty decently, though. We'll see if one of these planetaries can be broken off or not. BenBot has got a lot of resources to its name to replace units, so it can keep defending these PFs, even with a trickle of units. And it did run out of resources in the previous game, but I don't know if that's going to happen nearly as soon in this match. Caninana being denied this base is a big deal. The lack of bases on the map overall compared to the previous map is a big deal. The Zerg is mining off this gold, so it is like it's sort of even amount of bases between these two. But whether that's going to be enough for Caninana, I do not know. Resources lost slightly in favor for BenBot now, so we see how close this game is. The stim is nuts on these Marines. And just like those Marauders earlier, maybe a bit extra stim for BenBot. Battle cruisers, Ravens floating around, Vikings in the sky engaging the Corruptors. like a BC teleports towards the main where there's a million spore crawlers. I believe that may have been an unintentional teleport due to a neural parasite there. So the anti-battle cruiser behavior from Caninana really is phenomenal. Not going to get tired of watching that anytime soon. Look at that, another neural parasite. The bug there, which the tongue sort of extends all the way across the map. That BC's dead. So great move there by Caninana. Just doing that over and over again really is where benbot starts to lose the efficiency. Now down 2,000 resources. That's just a handful of BCs, really. The planetary is going to be getting repaired against these hydras. It really would benefit from high-sec auto-tracking. It really would benefit from building armor. It's still at 60 kills, though, so not doing too bad. We'll see if it is going to hold this. This is eerily similar to the previous game. The planetary died for benbot, and then things really went south. Anti-armor missile goes down. The planetary is being worked on. It's being repaired. Marines are coming on in, killing off some of these units. This is so close. This could be the game-deciding moment right here. And the PF is starting to gain in HP. There just was not quite enough Zerg. There was enough Marines to reinforce this location so it stays alive. This base has not been puked on by the Corruptors just yet, even though it potentially could. There's the Widow Mine on the ground. The Liberator might be glitching them out a little bit. Marine on the ground starts working away on these Corruptors too. And so, benbot staying alive for now. The BC is not very efficient. The planetary, incredibly efficient at 90 kills. Corruptors in the sky chasing away Medivacs, chasing away Ravens. Yeah, the BC is, it would almost be worth for benbot to abandon the battle cruisers, like make something else. I'm not too sure. I mean, that would be very complex to program. Planetary being engaged by the Hydras once again. I mean, PFs are pretty darn good at killing Hydras. A few Marines come in to help out too. The SCV repair is worth its weight in gold. The Planetary now eclipsing 100 kills. This PF is so important right now. I can't begin to overstate it. And it just barely died in the previous game. This game is staying alive for now. I mean, BC's come in to work away on some of the Hydras just in time. Allows that PF to get repaired all the way up. And, I mean, benbot's staying in this game as a result. It's trading out less efficiently, but the PF repairs are pretty darn good. Now, it looks like for a moment, Caninana has retreated after losing that supply in that attack. The resources in the bank are very even. The resources lost are very even too. benbot could potentially win this game, although a lot of Hydras are crossing the map again. It's not going to be easy for benbot to hold this location this time around. A planetary or a command center is floating over, and oh, it looks like that Caninana did eventually secure this base up, so that's going to be huge for the Zerg bot. That could actually spell disaster. I'm not sure how it figured it out, but it did eventually take that mineral patch out. I don't know if that was just long-distance mining behavior, eventually taking care of those minerals, or what, but it worked out great. Now here we see these planetary. The planetary did go down there. Siege tanks firing away. But that planetary died, and that could spell disaster here for benbot. Yeah, the supply's starting to fall. I mean, the tanks are going to be incredibly efficient as the next point of defense. And they are shelling away. The siege tank up to 24 kills. They've only got +1 attack on the ground, but they're still doing pretty darn well for themselves. SCV's repairing the bunker, so that could be where benbot gets some insane efficiency defending this natural base. Okay. Lots of idle SCVs there for benbot now that that base isn't being mined. Battle cruisers staying at home is better than them going out, getting neural parasited and dying. Yamato cannons going down. Bunker wall fails, so benbot actually going to replace that, interestingly enough. Teleport out. We're really locking in on this defense, defending this location down to the bottom right still with a handful of Marines. There is a Broodlord out, however. More Corruptors on the way here for benbot. SCVs can repair up these air units. But yeah, as far as Caninana taking this extra base goes, it looks like benbot could be in a spot of bother, allowing the Zerg to have the gold. And it seems that the late game efficiency is just not quite there for the Terran. I mean, it is attempting to secure this base to the bottom right. It needs to clear out the creep. I'm not sure if it'll be able to, as all the Corruptors fly forward. The Ravens need to retreat. Everything needs to retreat here, as this is a big amount of Corruptors in the sky. The battle cruisers do have their teleports still, so they can dump their Yamato cannon and retreat. One Broodlord could be all that's needed to break this tank position, though. I mean, tanks are pretty darn poor at killing Broodlords. The Vikings shooting away on those Broodlords, or the single Broodlord, actually. And they may be able to deal with it, which would allow benbot to just hold on to this position. So far, benbot is staying alive, but it is starting to eat into its bank now, as it's pretty much mined out almost all of its locations. It really does need this spot. It's going to try an attempt to take it again, but the Infestors on the ground just neural parasiting everything. And then the Corruptors in the sky and the Roaches, they're just too darn efficient. There we go, another neural parasite goes down. A scan drops as soon as that happens. So a battle cruiser does take out one of the Infestors. That neural parasite is running out. Thankfully, that battle cruiser was not teleported home, interestingly enough. Or not teleported to Caninana's home, I mean. And it was off cooldown. Maybe it just got off cooldown. I am curious why it did not do that. benbot's kind of breaking out here a little bit. There's another neural parasite. This battle cruiser does have teleport. We'll see if it's going to stick around and die or whether it will jump to the other side of the map. It is just going to... Oh, there we go. Okay, it does teleport and it does die. That's a big, big loss for benbot. That's the 9th battle cruiser to go down this game versus 31 Corruptors. I mean, it's not horrible trades, but it's not good enough trades when we take into account that there's also been 9 Vikings dead, 5 Ravens dead. Resources lost are actually within a stone's throw of each other, but then we do see there's that gold base for Caninana, and that will actually be the make or break point here in this game. Maybe if benbot can take this location, it can hold on long enough. I mean, it's got a lot of battle cruisers still. 5 BCs, they're up on 3-3 upgrades. They're very beefy boys. I mean, I don't think we've seen benbot with this many BCs grouped up together before. I mean, there's always a chance this base being worked on once more. benbot knows that it needs this base. Yamato cannon hits the Corruptor, annihilates that. There's another Yamato cannon going down, taking out a Corruptor. Oh, the Yamato cannon kills the Infestor and saves its fellow BC comrade. That battle cruiser has got to teleport out, though. Another Yamato cannon killing off another Corruptor. These BCs do need to teleport out of there. Does this one have teleport? Yes, it does. So all the BCs survive. The Corruptors take shots. The Infestor goes down. That one BC, just that was like an action movie comrade save right there. Saving his buddy. Unfortunately, this command center will go down for benbot. Unfortunately for benbot, there's a trillion SCVs hanging out in the main base, not repairing that planetary. CC killed, another one gets started. Roaches have reached this location. At some point, those minerals were mined out. Corruptors flying right over a bunch of Marines. Unfortunately, those Corruptors do have +2 armor, so they're pretty tanky against those Marines. The Corruptors engage right on top of the battle cruisers, and they all go down. That is a disaster for benbot. The safe space was breached, and no more does benbot have an army. So it looks like Caninana will win this one again. And I'm definitely going to cast the games between benbot and Caninana if there's a rematch later down the line, because you know that the bot author is like, okay, how do I tweak my bot enough? And then Caninana is going to be like, okay, I might have to tweak my bot too. It's literally an arms race between these bot authors. And it's resulted in these incredible AI. And so, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button if you enjoyed this one. I apologize if I got a bit distracted for a second there. I placed a callback with the insurance company. And of course, they take 2 hours to call me back right as I'm casting the game, so you don't know. But anyway, Starcraft's more important than that. And so, we see benbot fallen. Yeah. That is the main takeaway from this, that these bots are incredible. benbot might just need a little tweak here and there. I'm interested to see how the bot author changes it up, if he decides to. But, yeah, great games regardless. hit that like button, comment more bots down below, subscribe if you haven't. I really did like the point when benbot got up to like the 4 battle cruisers. Unfortunately, those minerals being mined out really did kill benbot. Not having a defense there, its natural was fine, but its third was not once those minerals got mined out. And yeah, maybe I'll cast Caninana's next matches in the tournament. That would potentially be really fun to see which bot it plays next. I'm not going to cast every tournament game, but I would keep an eye out for good ones, and then maybe check them out. So that's probably what I'll do for the next match. Caninana beat benbot, I believe it was 2-1 in this. Or it might have been 3-0. But anyway, thanks so much for tuning in as we watch this one God Tier Planetary try and hold the line with his 2 Widowmine friends. Caninana's unsure how to breach this. So yeah, that is a planetary after all. There's the one Broodwood, that's all it needs. Base in the bottom right. Oh, I didn't quite catch how many kills it had. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.